Okay. Hi, can you guys hear and see me okay? Yeah, I guess you can, huh? All right. Um, I I have to use two different screens on this, and one so I can see what anything you type in, and then the other one for the broadcast that way. So let me get started, and I'll tell you why I'm doing it this way. Um, this I wanted to talk about where to get the stuff that you need to make a watch. Okay, that's basically what I want to do today, and also get any ideas from you. If any of you have had any experience making a watch, essentially what you need a movement, and I'm just going to be talking about the 6498, 6497, and the ST36, which is a clone. Okay, there are lots of other movements, but for like really getting beginning, these are the ones you're going to deal with. I think I showed everybody this. This is the second watch that I completed. Let me take this off so it looks nice. Maybe not. Okay. You can the light. I have to use the light is really funny here, otherwise it will look even worse. How does that look? Ah, there we go. Okay, this is the second watch that I completed, and it has an ETA 6498 in it, and you can tell it's a 98 because it has the movement at the bottom here. Let me take this piece of film off of here. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is how to get the parts. You need a case. We already saw a dial. You need hands, and then you need a movement. Okay. Now, and then a strap. And so I want to talk about sourcing all of these today. Okay, let me put the film back on, and let's see if I can get everything working okay. Um, the first thing I like to say is that if you're going to make one, by and large, I recommend starting with the smaller, not the smaller, but the less expensive ST36. The ST36 is a clone of the 6497. Now they have one that's called the 36 and then the 3600. One's a 98, one's a 97. Not too hard to find. Now, what I want to start with is I'm going to try to work the gizmos on this on the Hangouts so that I can show you where the sources are, at least the ones I know about. And like I said, if you know some other ones, let me know. Okay. All right. Where'd you get that case? That's what I'm going to show, Clive. And I found a really cool one too, with another kind of dial. All right, so let me see. I'm going to try using screen sharing. Hi, Rudy. And hi, Dave. Hi, Aunt G. Hi, Bleeby. Blue Shirt Buddha. Abdul. Like, okay, good. All right, so let's take a look at, and I'm going to sort of go through this thing at a time. Now, the first thing is the movement. So let me get my movement pictures out that I had. That's not it. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, and I go to the application window, and where are they? Okay. Okay. Can everybody see that movement now? Yes, no? I am. Can you get? Oh, yeah. Okay, you can see it fine. Good. All right. So this is the kind of thing. This, as you can see from this thing, is that from eBay. If you go to eBay and you put in either ETA. This one has, for example, this one says 17 joule swan neck, 6497, hand winding movement, yada yada yada. Okay, now this one is, I forgot. I don't know. This is about $50. I didn't put the. Oh no, it's $37.99 for this one. Now the thing that's interesting about this is that it has a swan neck. I don't know if you can see the pointer, but right here there's a swan neck. And what do you want a swan neck for? Well, one of the things is that you can regulate it a lot finer. There's a little screw that you turn. So here you have a 6497, and you want to get the fine tuning done. Well, that's one thing you can do with the swan neck. What it does is simply moves the regulator pointer either to make it faster or slower, except you do it with a screw movement. Okay, now let's see. See if I can change back again. Here I am. All right. Now the next thing, that's just one type, and we're talking about it. And I don't think it's an actual ETA 6497. What I think it is, I think it's a clone of a 6497, which means it's some kind of ST 36 that they put a swan neck in. Okay, so it's sort of a cool thing to have. You can also, with a pointer stick or something, you can do that. High-end something. Okay, hi Javier, Steve. All right, so let me see. Let me get the next thing I wanted to show you. Okay, and when you have that, once you get to a place looking around eBay for for something, you'll see at the bottom. Usually at the bottom they'll have what they call different sponsored things. And here you can see there are a lot of different ones you can get for different prices. Here, for example, there's a skeletonized one for $52. There's another one for $35. There's another one for $31.99, and so forth. And then some other ones. This one is $50. And so you'll find some, and this has got a swan neck to it, and it's probably why it's $50. This one's $44. Well, what I did, I ended up, for my first watch, I got two of these. I destroyed one of them and cut the other one the way I wanted it to. You really don't try anything cute like I did. The first time you want to do it, you just want to get everything that works well with it. And so, but these are some of the sources and some of the things you can go to. Okay, let's see now. Getting everything working right. Okay, I'm back again. And so these are some of the things with the movement. So that's the very first thing that you have. Now, before I go on to my next group of pictures that I dug up, any comments or questions that you wanted to have? But you can actually do it when I'm showing you the pictures too. I'm just not as good at it as I should be. This is usually I use the other one. It's much easier. It's just with a straight up camera, but I can't do the screen share. This one I figured out how to open up two windows, and so I can have this, plus I can see what your comments are. So far, any comments or anything you want me to show? Don't research Toegate, Shoegate. I don't know what that is. Okay. What else is there? Anything else? Dave, you want to elaborate on that? Or is that something that Hillgate, Shoegate. All right. Okay. Now, let me take a look at some other ones here real quick. Okay, Clyde says you don't want to know. All right. Maybe I don't. All right. Now, this, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Now, the ones that I showed you so far you order them and it takes about a month to get there. Okay. So this one is one from an American company called Auto Fry. It's F-R-E-A. It's right down here at the bottom. O-F-R-E-I. Now, the good thing about Auto Fry is that they're at least if you're in the U.S., you can have them shipped right to you. It doesn't take very long. About maybe tops a week. But now this particular model of an ETA. Now this is a real ETA, 6497. Now this is about $280. So that's one of the problems. Okay. The good thing about this is that over on the left side, you can see 3 bridges. And those 3 bridges are on top of 3 of the gears. And if you want to take it apart and put it back together again, this makes it a lot easier. Okay. All right. Okie doke. So that's another thing you can get if you're interested in doing some more elaborate watchmaking. This is the kind of thing that'll really help you do it. But like I said, it's a lot more expensive. The other ones you're looking at around $35. This one's 200 and something. So, but it's one if you want to work on it, like I said. Okay. Let me see. My back again. All right, yeah. Okay. All right. So, any more questions on that? Yeah, those multiple bridges. So the big thing about the multiple bridges and something is that if you have a single plate that you have to put on top of 3 pivot points on 3 gears, it can get tricky. What this allows you to do is just take one off and put it back on again without much difficulty, rather than having to do it all at once. Or when you put it back together, you can do it one at a time. It makes it a lot easier for that. Okay, those are simply some of the options. Now let's take a look at the cases. All right, the first thing about cases that's going to be important is that the case has to be the right size for the case has to be the right size for the movement. Now, on this first one, what you can see, it has Cogent 44 mm stainless steel case, 6497, 6498, and then it says Seagull ST36 mechanical watch. Well, that can go on a 36, an ST36, or either a 6497 or a 98, either one of those. This one is simply one I like the looks of. It's a copper-colored one, and it has sort of an onion-shaped crown with it. By the way, too, when you get a case, you also get a crown with it. The one I just showed you has a crown with it, and it was one that went with the bronze of the case. All right, and this one's $29. But by the way, too, most of these are really decent price, and that includes both a top and bottom sapphire glass, so you can see the movement and so forth, like the one that I just finished showing you. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see what you got going here now. Okay, I can't. unsee that anymore. I don't know what you're unseeing, Dave. Okay. You can get complete Cogent watches for like $70, $80 with a 64. Might be a good option for someone who wants to get started. That's not a bad idea. If you can get one of those watches and you can then take it apart and put it back together. I sound like Darth Vader today. Okay, hang on a second. If I sound like Darth Vader, let me fix something. 1 second, please. Okay, sound preferences. Come on, sound preferences. There we go. Okay, I hope that fixed it. Okay, is that okay now? Did that get rid of the Darth Vader sound? Is it all right now? Hello, hello. What about the case? Okay, I found some offers on eBay, really good. Yeah, prices. Yeah, Abdul, those prices and the ones that were showing you are mostly from eBay. Is the Cogent case you got on the watch you just displayed? No, it's not. If you mean this watch right here, this is the one that I just showed. That's not a Cogent case. This was one, what I was looking for, I was looking for something in bronze. And to tell you the truth, I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the company that I got this because I was looking around. It was hard to find. I finally found one. And then I found where I got the dial either. I found this dial and it had the hands with it that matched it. And this was, by the way, too, this one in a 6498 or a 97, you have the small second. And so you really need three hands, one for the minute hand, one for the hour hand, and one for the small second. And let me tell you, it took me about a day to get the small seconds on there right, because that was a hard thing. There's as you develop this stuff, you can get these different tools for it. And I got what's called a hand setting tool, and it made all the difference in the world. Okay. All right. About the movement size, is the movement holder included in the measurement? Okay. Ink cart, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Now, you have different kinds of case holders. I think I know what you mean. Your case holders are in two different kinds in two different places. For example, this one right here, and if by case holder you mean the holder that holds the movement in, you mean the diameter. The diameter of the cases for 64, 97s, 98 tend to be larger. The smallest one I found, and it was quite expensive too, was I think 40 millimeters for the movement, which is about, I don't know, I think it's around 36, 37 millimeters for the 64, 97, 98 movement, or the ST36. So, but the real point is that you when you're looking for it, it'll tell you which movement it's set for. At least it should. So you're not getting one that is the wrong size. That becomes really important. I think I have something like that. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I'll show it to you. Okay, here was one I found. This is 41 millimeters, sapphire glass watch case. But then, you figure, okay, well, 41 millimeters, that'll be fine. Now, this one comes with a package, 7650. Let's say this is what you want. You like the bezel sort of a dive watch type of special bezel. But then if you look up here, it says ETA 2824, 2836. That's not going to work with your larger 64, 97, 98. So it's something that you need to really pay attention to. So when you get it, you can find a lot of different ones, but you got to keep looking for it. Now there was one, like I said, I think it was 40 millimeters I found it, but it was like, like $70, $80. It was very expensive for it. And what they had to have was that they had a domed glass on the top, so everything would fit okay. All right. Okay, let's go on here, see what else I got. All right, dial case hands. Okay, this one has, this is for, if you look at this one, it's got all three of them together. It's got a dial, it's got the case, and it's got the hands. And you have, it'll give you the millimeters. I don't know if that's as important as what you really need, and that is that you need to know whether it's for the movement that you're using. Okay. Now here, this is a little problematic. It says, okay, there's a dial that works with this with the case that fits it. But then right next to it, they say Snowflake silver watch hands for an ETA 2824. It's the wrong size. So they got two that are the right size, and then the one that's the wrong one. If in looking for hands, they will have the same information. I'll say this fits an ETA 64, 97, 98, or an ST36. Okay. A full Mussolini watch, huh? Are you talking about the Mussolini, the famous Italian movie star? I take it. Okay, let's go on with some other. Like I said, what I'm trying to do is to give you, at least from what I've seen about it. Here, okay, all on one side. Hands. Okay, now this one I got for Clyde. I thought he'd like it. Here is one, is $60, and it's skeletonized, and it's got all kinds of engraving on it. This is a really interesting one, I thought. And since you're going to have a see-through case on the back, you would want, you can have something like this. It's really interesting. And as far as working on something like this, I really like it because you can see everything. All right, you can see where all the gears are and so forth. Okay, man, good professors prefer ivory watch. Hey, Forbin, careful now. Careful, be nice to me, okay? All right. What man cave? This is my office that I'm in. All right. Chicken or beef? Okay. All right. Now then. Okay, so you got and go back here to my example watch. All right, so you got the case, you got the hands. Whoops, let me see. There it is. Movement, case to fit the movement, hands that will also fit it. Now, one of the things that becomes very important about the dial, you need the right kind of dial. The first dial I got, I wanted an enamel one. And with an enamel dial, at least the one I got it at Tourbee's. Tourbee has an enamel dial you can get. I'm not a professor. I'm retired, Forbin. Good grief. you know, what I'm hoping to do is this is something that you guys can do while you're saving up for a really good watch. I mean, in terms of collection, but it's also a lot of fun. Okay. All right. Why are you so thick for a hand winder? Good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. All I know is that some of the thinner cases are really expensive for some reason. They do have them, and you can find them. But look out. You're right. This is for a mechanical hand wind. Why is it that thick? Well, it's not that thick, but it is thick, and it's big too. I mean, it's a pretty good size. Here's my. This is the one I have on. I have on my Parmigiani, and if you compare the two, let me get them in a comparative. If you compare the two, you can see that. Let me see. There, I think the Parmigiani is 42 millimeter. This one is either 42 or 44, and it is a bit thicker. But oddly enough, when I wore it, it's very comfortable. I tried it on, and I've been treating the leather with neatfoot oil to make it really nice and soft. Okay. Now, case may have been all-purpose to accommodate automatics or what have you. That could be the case. I'm not sure. The thing of it is that most of the automatics are a lot smaller than this. Okay. Oh, geez. Eggplant Parmigiani. I like that too, but it's Parmesan. Okay. Okay, doke. Yes. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Kurt. All right. One of the things I'm serious about this, it's really a lot of fun. It costs nowhere near the amount. I mean, it costs what you pay for tax on some of these watches that we collect. So, okay. All right. Okie doke. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Okay. Now, here's a place for those people in the UK that I found, and this is everything is in pounds. That's how you know it's from the UK, and it's called. Let me see, where is it? I think it's called GH, something like that. And anyway, they have hands and they have these different kinds of cases for you. And as you can see, everything is in quid instead of dollars and so forth. But you can get all the things there. To me, what I would recommend is to get them in the country where you live. The reason for that, some places, there was one place in Miami that imported them from China, and so when I ordered it from there, I got them right away. On the other ones, the ones from China, they take between, well, I don't know, 2 weeks and a month, and so that's another thing about it. I think this is called DH. I can't see the top of it because it's the way this thing works is in the way. Anyway, here's some hands and so forth. And notice again, you have the 42 millimeter, 44, 43 millimeter. These are all for and down here they have 3600 and the 3620. I think the difference between the ST3600 and the 3620 is probably the difference between the 64, 97, and 98. Not only Seagull also has their indicators for what it is all over the map. Okay, so all right, now the other thing Let me see what I got here. Application. Okay, we've got the movement, the case, the dial, the hands, and let's see. The only thing that we need now is the strap. And the place, I don't know. This place is called Panatime, and I like it. Now I know that most watch collectors have their own favorite strap resource. The one I like about this is that one of the categories they have is in the size you want, 16 millimeters on up to, I think this one goes up to 24. I'm sorry about the bottom. I had the bottom one is cut off. But basically, these are the ones, these are the sizes that you're going to be looking at. Most of them are going to be more toward the 22 millimeter size because the case is pretty good size. The crystal, okay. Inkart, I refer to that as the glass. Turns out there's a difference between mineral crystals and what they call the sapphire. Whatever you get comes with the case. So when you buy a case, you get you just get it. It comes with it. So if you want the mineral, you can. It'll be with the case. You can buy them separately. I know that Auto Fry has them, and they have all different kinds. The ones that to me are the most interesting ones are the domed ones because then you can get a thinner case with it. Boy, I tell you, they really charge out a lot for those thinner cases. If you want to see some of those cases, take a look at Auto Fry, and they have all of it there. The problem is their navigation system for the web page isn't so hot. Okay, all right. Those are all the picking hands, like the longer second hand. Okay, all right. Second hand, sure. You know, one of the things of Forbin Colossus is that you have the second hand. Oh, hang on, Javier. That's a good question. I'll get to that in a second. One of the things about the second hand, the second hand is attached to the fourth wheel or fourth gear. So I say second hand rather than second hand because there's a second gear or a second wheel, and then so it's like you put the second hand on the fourth wheel. Okay, what about a case back gasket? They too will or will not come with the case. Okay, but you can buy separate gaskets. By and large, I don't take any of my watches swimming, even if I could, and so not too much. Okay. Secondhand sounds like it's used. All right. Yeah. All right. Secondhanded, pre-owned. I like my watch collection. All right. I think that's. Oh, uh, there's 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 a something I found that some of you may be interested in. Okay, it'd be sort of fun. Like I said, I like being the pretentious watchmaker. Let me show you this that I found. I think that this would be especially Orban. You would love it. This is something you would like. Okay, let me show it to you. Here it is. Okay, it's called Eagle Logo. Your logo will be produced mirror chrome color, and you can have your logo put on your watch. So those things, you can have that done. You can get one of these in Switzerland, but they're made in China. I don't know how they work that. It takes about a month. You send them your logo, and they will send you that to put on your watch. I was thinking of having something even more pretentious than putting on a logo on my watch, Montrade's Bill or something like that. Johnny Sample, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that would be a good name. All right. Okay, no. I need Superman's essay. That would be cool. that would be great. Junior Samples. Oh man. Clyde. All right. Oh. Uh, the Yeah, that would be a fried chicken watches. Hi, Jack. Um, all right. What other kinds of things? Any other kinds of things you guys want to talk about, or I ask you what you'd like to know about? This is like a beginner leading any beginners. All right. Some of you, have any of you here today made your own watch yet? Raise your hand or say I have. Tools needed. Oh, okay. Now for this one, let me see. The recommended tools and useful tools. Okay, this is, you need a red size screwdriver. Okay. What you do with this is that you loosen the screw that holds the stem for the winding stem in. Okay. So they have them in different sizes, and this one has a red either band. Another one I have, it comes with a red top. That's really the only one you're going to need if all you're going to do is to buy a case and some hands and so forth and put it together from that. I got a whole tool set. When I took the time zone watchmaker course, I ordered an entire, when you sign up, you can buy everything you need for the course. So I got everything in, including an entire set of screwdrivers. So I am in pretty good shape. This is something I just bought, and it is super handy. It's a little stick, and it has on two sides. This one's got a little hole in it, and this one has an even smaller hole. This is for what you do is that when you put the hour hand on, you put the hour hand on, and then you put the minute hand on, and this makes it very easy to press down, and so it goes around the pivot for it. And then for the minute hand, you can either use the flat of your tweezers, or you can use this end of it, the red end. And that's another tool. Okay, you disassembled. You broke it down, and you couldn't. All right, yeah, okay. Time limit. Okay. All right. So the tools, you really don't need a lot of tools. There's a very good watchmaker. It's sort of like how to make your own watch with parts you can buy on eBay. That is a very, very useful um, video on going through the steps. And the guy's a watchmaker. David P. Realized my tools from Amazon are crappy. The It depends on which tools. The ones I got were not from Amazon. They were like really good tools, and especially with the tweezers. But they're for professional watchmakers. I think I could have used the jaws of life to put the watches together. I was sort of all thumbed. But a good screwdriver, if you're going to do a lot of it, get a good screwdriver set. Let me show you what. Yeah, these are the ones that I got from Auto Fry, and they're very good. And Essinger, I think, is the name of the place. Yeah, Forbin, you're right, exactly. Here, this is the red one that I was mentioning, and it's if you're going to be doing more stuff, it's really helpful. If you're going to take apart and put a 64, 97, 98 together again, you just need three. You need the red one, the blue one, and the green one. Those are the only three you need for every gear and screw and the whole thing. Bergeron, Tree Dillinger, you're absolutely right. Bergeron, they have good tools too. One thing that this guy, there's a Facebook group that has a bunch of real watchmakers, and they've helped me a whole lot. And one guy came up with something that was really cool. Hang on a second. One of the things, especially when you're working with the hands, you're going to need a good pair of tweezers. That's the other thing you need. And the really good ones, these are, like I said, these are super good ones. They're called by Dumont, and they're expensive, but the points can be very delicate. And these are the ones that got bent a little by my ham-fisted work. And this one guy had something that they're grafting, they're pins that are used for grafting, and they have these little things at the end. They're called ruling pins, and they have a little twisty thing. And so what you can do is you can pick something up and then lock it, and then put it where you want it, and then unlock it to drop it into place. Now I know that sounds like it's a lot, but that's what you can do. Yeah, Bergeron is good. Definitely. This guy, I don't know where I got it. I either got this one for putting the hands on. I either got it on. I may have got it at Amazon. If you get something on Amazon, try to get. They do have some of the better tools, and I wanted this one fast, and I've got Prime, so I got this one. Work like a charm. The other thing you got to realize with certain tools, you're going to use this once on a watch, and then you put it away. These tweezers you use all the time. Same with screwdrivers. Spring bar tool, yes. Tree Dillinger. That's another good. That's something else. I think you need a good spring bar tool as well. This one is by Bergeron. It's a great one. You use this fork end down here for releasing the spring bar, and then you use this little pointy end up here, right here, for pushing the tip of the spring bar in and putting them back in. And I use this thing all the time, and it's got a little, it has, you can see the sides right there. You can measure the distance between the lugs and so forth. I got cheap spring bar tweezers, and it was not worth it. Definitely spend the extra money and get a Bergeron. I agree. I saw these guys in the mall. They had this shop, and they used a case knife for everything. It drove me crazy. They were using the old case knife for everything, for the case, I swear to God, that try to repair a watch using a case knife and nothing else. Getting good tools, I think, is important. One thing I got, this is something that I don't use. Oh, a couple things. Let me show you. This stuff. Here are some dirt cheap plastic tweezers that came in a pack I got once. They're really good to have because there's certain things that you want the nice, soft plastic on, and they're big enough. And these I've used a lot. The best thing about plastic is they're totally anti-magnetic or non-magnetic. But I have these for certain kinds of things that some big piece I want to do or hold something down when I'm working on it. This stuff right here, oops, you can see it. It's called Rodico putty. That is the most useful thing in the world. I love Rodico putty. When you're dealing with something really small, like a second hand or second hand, whatever you want to call it, you take this stuff and you break off a piece of it, and then you just touch the hand and it'll stick to it, and then you take it over and then just pick it off. It's very helpful for getting things where you want to. It's like watch collecting. Once you get one watch, it's easy to get more. The same thing is true with watchmaking tools and gizmos and so forth. The reason that I suggest a 6497 and a 6498 is they're relatively big, and so they're easy to work with. The first one I worked on was a Solida, I think it was a 210-1. It was actually a pretty good movement, much better than I thought. The trouble was, when I was taking it apart, even with the best tweezers I had, you snip it just a little, suddenly a piece will disappear. They're so small. Now, compared to a 6497, that thing was minuscule. A bunch of people, some of whom were on this, who were subscribers, said, "Don't get a little one, get a big one. Start with a big movement." And I will pass it on to you by people who came before me, so to speak. All right. One thing too, I think I mentioned before about this. This is a desktop workbench. $89. I spent more than that on straps. It's the best thing in the world to have. Solida movements, Tanzil, they're great movements to have to work on. Okay, so when you're learning this stuff, you're not going to be putting an expensive movement into one of these watches you're working with until you have some experience with it. At least I wouldn't. You can if you want to. But you're sort of different. You're entering into a different world. Not only would I not mind working on a Solida. A Solida is like a big step up from a Seagull in terms of the quality of stuff. But the Seagull ones are much better than I realized. I use my time grapher, and it did really quite well. So it's the kind of thing. Is the difference between buying a watch, the stuff I don't like. I don't like buying it, and I haven't bought one. But if I buy a Panerai, and a Panerai calls it an OP11 or something like that, and it's really a Solida or an ETA, that is really very maddening. Okay, but dealing with watches, until you've built one, until you've played around with this stuff, and like I have, I destroyed a couple. You don't want to destroy an expensive movement. Believe me, you don't, and it's very easy to do. So put it up now. That's for my wife. Hang on a second. It'll pick it up, wife. Good. You got it. All right. All right. So can you assemble and reassemble a movement now? If so, how long does it take to disassemble one? Disassembling and assembling is something that, for me, it takes a while. I think about, if I concentrate on it and nothing else, maybe 3 or 4 hours. Okay, and this should be a 64, 97, 98, a nice big one, and it doesn't have great number of parts. It's the thing of it is that there's, once you sort of know the sequence of what to do and what tools to use, it becomes a really neat process. It's a very enjoyable thing to do. When I took the Horological Society of New York's course over in went over to, they had this thing here, perhaps the name of the town, someplace outside of New York City, and did that. I really enjoyed it a lot. Um, all right, Forbin, what diameter case does the 6498 need? That's what the tricky part is, Forbin. I think if you go to Auto Fry, the very smallest one I found with a domed either mineral or sapphire glass, you have a, I think 40 was the very smallest one I could find. Most of the ones you're going to find for the ones built in China, and they're very inexpensive, are 40, I mean, 42, 44 is what you're going to see. I've seen them up to 46 millimeters for that. This one right here that I got, I'll put it up here. This one is really nice. I really liked it because instead of having the screws to hold it in, it's got a band around it, and you put the band in, and the band does a fantastic job of securing it. Otherwise, and I just bought a whole bunch of them. These are little, they're called case screws, and there are holes for the case screws, and you just screw them in. That's why you can use for different sizes. The other thing you had mentioned before, that they want to use these things for different sizes. One of the things you'll find, especially on the, well, you'll find them on all of them, I guess, from what I've seen. You find these long stems on them, and the reason they have the long stems, that's so you can make them for different size watches. If you put a little Solita 210, for example, into a 40 millimeter case, you're going to need a long stem to get to the side because the movement is relatively small. One of the movements that I like a lot is ETA 7001, which is based on a Pazoo 7001, just like the ETA 64978 is from a Unitas 6497 or 98. So I think that it's not just the size of it. Like, one of the things that you have to find is that if you get a, let's say, a 40 millimeter case, but they have thick sides to it, you're not going to be able to get your movement in. And so the ones that are smaller, you're going to need a thinner case for the sides so that they'll fit in there. Any interest in buying a mechanical watch? I mean, clock? No, I don't. I have that's probably a very good idea. Do you use a magnified visor or a loop or both? Magnified visor is what I should buy. Okay. What I have is that I got a bunch of loops. Here are a couple right here. I have a whole lot of them. The ones we were told to get was, I think, ×4 and ×10. I think those are the two that we were told when I took this the time zone course. And so I got a couple of them. For wearing glasses, this is one. The ones that you could buy when you took the course and you signed up for the course, those were terrible. Mainly because I'm left-eyed and left everything else. So if you get these are sort of like, but the ones I really like the best are these, and they get one of those little wire things. You get one of these, and you wrap that around your head. These are very handy. What I did, I took my, I have a Boston Loam loop here. Then I put on this little wire thing for the glasses. But I found that I was using this one all the time, and it's got a couple things. First of all, it's got rubber here, and then it has these air holes, so it doesn't get all fogged up. Excuse me. This was a great one. This was this is an FP Jorn one that they gave me for their line sport line of watches. And if you can find one with this rubbery stuff to it. Other ones that are really comfortable are wooden ones. You'll see a lot of these, a lot of pictures of watchmakers. These very comfortable to wear the wooden one. This is another FP Jorn one that they gave me, and it was you just pop in your eye like that, like if you're coordinated. There you go, like that. You look like Dr. Strangelove. So yeah, the ones that you mentioned, the magnifier visors, those I think are probably what I need to get, especially since I wear glasses, and those are great. I think I don't have them, but you know, when you look at most, I don't know, most watchmakers, real watchmakers, they got those little loops, and it's one of the things you take them out and you put them in. You're going back and forth a lot because you go from real close up, and then you got to back up, and you know, you're looking at all of them together, and then you have to go look at a part, and then you push it back again. You know, another thing I have, where is it? These are great. It's a little Sherlock Holmes type of magnifying glass. I use that a lot. These are fantastic. I have a couple of these. These are the best things in the world. What they are is that they open up and they have this lights up. I have one right above me now because the light in here was sort of goofy. And then you put something under here and it magnifies it. And so you can look at something with both hands and then have this, you know, set this gooseneck to where you want it. And then when you just want to use it for a regular light, you just close the top. So that's another, that is incredibly useful, not only for messing around with watches, but a lot of other things too. Okay, well, I've prattled on a lot, and you can steal stuff. Yeah, I got it from my dentist. You know, I tell you, the dentist also has some cool things too. He's got using some of those little picks and things. Those things you can, I suppose you could do some stuff with those. Those are some fine tools. But these you can get these on Amazon. They're magnified goosenecks. They're fantastic for using them. What is it called? Magnifying. Good question. Let me see if I can probably get the information on it right here. Hang on. Let me take a look. Called the LED magnifier lamp. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so it's the one up here is on right now, and leave it at that. Okay. Well, anyway, if it's something tree dillander, that's an interesting name. They steal that from a dentist. No, none of that. Anyway, like I said, it's a lot of fun. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can save a lot of money, and it's what to do while you're weeding. You know, something else. This may sound funny to have, but having a little flashlight available if you want to look closely at something in the movement or something in the on the dial, especially when you're putting the hands on, a little flashlight is handy to have around. You know, it's sort of like little things like that. There's a thing called a blower or a puffer. One of these things. I had to cut off. Well, you're always cutting off the stem to get it to the right size. That can be nerve-wracking. And what this is for is to blow away any kind of dust or anything like that may get in there. And the problem with this is that if you set it down on your workbench or something, it'll roll all over the place. And so we just get a coffee cup. So I have this coffee cup. Just pop it in here and use it. That's handy. Also, too, you can get a set of these little papers. And so when you start working on a dial, you just put that down on top, and so you have a nice clean surface to work on. There are all kinds of things like that you can get. But one of the ways, or one of the things you can do, if you go to Auto Fry, and they have the time zone, where they have the time zone Watt School. Okay, they have sort of a package that you can order with all of the stuff. Now they included in, you can either order it individually or the whole thing. That will give you an idea. What I would do is take a look at it and then go find what you need on your own. But it'll give you an idea of what you need. Okay, well, that's about it for now. And so I hope it worked out. I hope it wasn't too confusing, but thank you all for coming. And next week is going to be sort of crazy because I'll be up at the show in New York on from Thursday till coming back either Sunday or Saturday, and I plan to have a lot of stuff from that I hope to bring into a video. So my videos for for Friday and Sunday may be late or different. Hasta la vista.